So I'd like you to give a warm and over welcome to Miss Lyn Hester.
God, I'm exhausted going that far. It is wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for having me. It's really a exciting and fun and a challenge to God, I feel like I need to confess to a crime with that. It is nice to be here. I think of the guy who was out in the country, and he had just gotten sick of the city. You know, it was crowded, it was noisy, it just drove him crazy. So he moved as far away as he could in the middle of the country, miles and miles from the closest person. And he'd been there for several months when he noticed, as he was sitting on his front porch, a cloud of dust, and toward him came this pickup truck, and pretty soon it pulled right up to the porch. This guy jumped out. He was all scaggy, and his hair was greasy. He had about 4 teeth. He said, "Hey, buddy, I'm your closest neighbor." The guy said, "Well, nice to meet you." He says, "I came to invite you to a party at my house." He says, "You are just going to love it." He says, "There's going to be eating and drinking and loving and fighting." The guy said, "Well, all right, what'll I wear?" He says, "Anything you want, it's just you and me." So in this little time to get, those of you who didn't laugh, you need to move away from the other people. It's going to be a dangerous afternoon. But we've already had eating and drinking, and so hopefully there'll be a little bit of loving later, but no fighting, so. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Humor is so important, lots of fun, and hopefully by the end of our few minutes together, you will have tools and tips, and you'll have laughed very hard, and hopefully your seat cushions won't be too wet before we leave. But our lives are very stressful. We think of stress, we think of lots of traffic. We think of in-laws visiting. We think of bosses that make us dance on stage. We think of those cards, we can't get to work. Get well faster, stay well longer. Lots and lots of benefits from laughter. But how do you do it? How do you incorporate that back into your life? Well, first of all, it's up to you. We like to blame it on other people and think that it's someone else's responsibility to make us happy, make us, mad. We give that kind of responsibility to other people as part of our vernacular. But in reality, it's really up to us. There were 3 women, each talking about their sons, and each said that their son loved them more than any other son in the world. The first said, "My son never forgets a birthday, calls me every week without fail. He is by far and away the best son and loves me more than anyone else in the world." The second lady said, "Honey, let me tell you about my son. My son not only remembers every birthday, every holiday, calls me every week, but 2 weeks out of every year, he takes me on vacation, leaves his pesky wife at home, pays for everything. By far and away, my son loves me the best." The third said, "Let me tell you about my son. For 15 years, 3 times a week, he has gone to a psychiatrist. He pays out of pocket $150 for every session, and all they talk about is me." That's love, baby. I don't care what you're saying. That's what I told my son. Forget college. I'm paying for therapy. It's a lot more expensive. Go on forever. We can't always choose what happens to us. What we can choose is how we react to it. If we react with happiness and joy and laughter, we may find that we feel better. We might even live a little bit longer. But certainly people want to hang around us more. Remember, happiness truly is an inside job. As Bill Cosby said, if we can laugh at it, we can live with it. Thank you. Thank you very much.